Hey, what's up, everybody? Hau Rockstar Realtor. I am the realtor that makes you the rock star. And today, I want to talk about something that's blowing up. Foreclosures in 2022. Going crazy, right? That's what the numbers say. Find out on the other side what I have to say. All right, everybody, I'm Hau. I work for Elite Realty. So if you need a realtor, now you know how to get a hold of me, 702-461-7175, or email me at rob@robhowrockstarrealtor.com. I don't care how you get a hold of me. Just get a hold of me when you're ready. And here we go, folks. The foreclosures are happening. Yes, they came out with the numbers. Probably a lot of people missed it. Though, because it wasn't really big news, even though foreclosures are up by 29% from December. Okay, so we had what you would call a huge jump in foreclosures from December 2021 into January 2022. We have surpassed the numbers prior to the pandemic for foreclosure starts. And this is partly because the restrictions have expired that were put in place by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I'm reading a little bit of this because some of this stuff is like hard to keep in my head. Actual repossessions, repos as they call them, were 4,784 in the United States. Foreclosure starts were at 23,204. Those sound like some numbers, but no, not really, because I just said that the restrictions were lifted, and that meant that certain properties that, well, were long overdue for foreclosure, in other words, they were going to be foreclosed on regardless pandemic or whatnot, and it's just been held off because of the restrictions. That number of repos, the actual repossessions that were taken back, foreclosed on, the completed foreclosures at 4,784, was up 235% since December 2020. So we know that in December 2020, there were no foreclosures, none, basically none. You couldn't do them. So now the fact that there are some means we've gone up by 235% just by having some foreclosures. I could make this sound like we have a foreclosure crisis, which a lot of people thought. Where is the foreclosure crisis? You know, where are all these people that were getting behind? Most of them have workouts that they did with the lenders. They basically did a refinance of sorts to keep their homes. And so now they're getting back on track. And of course, the obvious thing is that it's better to keep your home. And or people have sold their homes slowly, but mostly not. But you know that you've gained a lot of equity in your home. So this is why foreclosures will not be happening anytime soon. And they're basically saying the pros, which I think I'm one of them because I would have said the same thing, that we're not going to see any expected numbers of foreclosures through 2022. We're not going to see any kind of real jump in foreclosures because there's so much appreciation that these homes have had. You got to have your head buried in the sand to not say, you know what, I'm in trouble, I'll just sell the home and make some money. Like, I can't afford to pay the mortgage, but at least I can sell the home and make some money. There's nothing stopping somebody from doing that. There's many differences from when we had a crash in the real estate market. We have had the exact opposite, an absolute boom. So anybody that's in trouble, you know, there are people that can't afford their mortgage, just got to sell the property and now you get some proceeds from the property. It's highly unlikely that you wouldn't have a fair amount of equity in the property. And so because of that, the foreclosures that are happening are certain kinds of foreclosures, and I'll get to that. I've said foreclosures a lot in this, but I did say that this is going to be about a foreclosure crisis. The numbers are still far below normal levels, less than half in January 2020, 60% lower than 2019. So we're far below those old numbers, even though at the beginning of 2020, we're actually above them. I know it's confusing. I've mentioned a little bit about what could cause a surge in foreclosures. That has been caused by backup. There was foreclosures that couldn't be done that needed to be done. They just needed to be done. It's not because the banks are trying to be harsh on people. It's just, hey, these nobody's getting caught up. There's the sale of the home's not happening. It's time to repossess the property. The more exotic type of loan products like a reverse mortgage, or in a case of a probate where somebody has passed away, the foreclosure still goes on. That process still goes on. Whether somebody had a reverse mortgage and now they've been put in, a nursing home or something, sadly. But, this is life, part of the cycle of life. The foreclosure process would now take place. That's one reason why you even have any foreclosures at all. And this would be a case where there's no family that would take over the property. There's nobody that wants to take a hold of that debt. Even though in most cases, again, with a reverse mortgage, it's questionable, but in most cases, you have some equity to work with. Tax liens that can come into play, those are a way of the property can go to foreclosure. So anyway, some rare cases. But ironically, this is another reason why we have such strength in the market to begin with. When you don't have foreclosures happening at a high rate, you don't have another set of inventory production, so to speak. I mean, even when foreclosures happen, the banks take them back and then they do what's called an REO, real estate owned. They sell that asset, and now it's on the market. Maybe an investor buys it and is going to resell the property. Okay, so you don't have that feed of inventory. There's a number of places where we're getting pinched off from inventory, and that's why we have rising prices. Right now, I'm just gonna get into what I think it's gonna be a while till we see any kind of serious foreclosures, because as long as you're getting the message from me or anybody with a brain, really, you're not letting your property go through the full foreclosure process. You're gonna sell it and pay off that loan before you have a foreclosure. So just remember to do that, folks. If you know anybody that's in trouble, make sure they're getting on the train to sell their home. It is a fantastic time to sell. I think that the people are getting the message that it's a historic time to sell your home. If you're looking to buy, well, it's going to be a little harder market, as it has been, but depending on your circumstances, it may be well worth it to purchase now before the interest rates go up, so on and so forth, before rent rates continue to go up. That rent is not getting any cheaper, folks. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. By the way, I was a little late on my episode because I got food poisoning. That's right. One of my favorite sushi places gave me a fever. That's right. I got a sushi fever. I'm not going to name the restaurant, though. Oops, maybe I already did. Completely threw me off. And I did not get my video done in time, so this week it's coming in a little bit late. So thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel, because I got lots more where this came from. Remember, I'm Rob Hau, Rockstar Realtor. That makes me the realtor and you the rock star. So when you're ready to sell or buy a home, you know a freaking great agent in Las Vegas. Have a great day, everybody.